be working on a fun pastel Easter wreath with a chocolate bunny. So fluff this up. Oh, welcome in. Hello. Hey guys, welcome in. I'll work on a fun, bright, pastel-y Easter wreath. Just gonna add in a chocolate bunny sign. Alright, so I've got the tinsels all fluffed up on this. I'm going to set that to the side for now. I'm going to be using this open weave, but I'm going to do poofs with it. I'm not going to cut that one right now. I have these pink ones that I had already cut for another project and changed my mind. I'm going to cut a couple more of this one. And then I'm going to bring in some green and white to go with the colors in this sign or mesh. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 already cut. I'm going to cut, I think, 8 for each. Well, let's see how much I've got to make for the green. It's the least amount. Come on in, say hello, tell me where you're from. I am in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Two. 3, 4, I think I might be getting 5. Guys, try to get the tape off of this. Oh my God. Alright, so I've got 5 green, I've got 6 of the pink. We'll go ahead and do 6 of the white and then see if we need more after we start stuffing. Is pretty ragged. We're going to make a clean cut. I'm doing 20-inch cuts of this. We'll use a quaffle method when we stick them in. Four, 5. Yep, let go. Alright, we'll start off with that and see how we do. Since this is such an open pattern, I'm just gonna do poofs with it instead of cutting it, because I think it would probably fray too much if I do cuts. So I'm just going to gather the end. I'll go ahead and get rid of this one that's loose. Just gather that end, and I'm gonna stick it down in between 2 ties and just crisscross those ties. I'm going to do 10-inch poofs. Just zigzag it around. Just picking a couple of ties that are close to each other and crisscross, twist them in like a twist tie. This wreath base I got at home at the end of the season, so I got it on sale. It does have lights in it. I haven't put batteries in it to see that it works, but I'm going to be trying to maneuver my way around the lights so I don't twist those in. I'm not a big talker. I do just ramble a little bit while I'm going through this. I'll kind of explain what I'm working on, but if y'all have questions, please put them in the comments. The phone is melting my... I just rearranged everything, sorry. I've got my glue pot hot over there and my mesh was trying to melt off the edge of it. But I will kind of talk through this as I go, explain what I'm doing, but if y'all have questions, please just drop them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. The phone's too hard for me to read, so I do have the live up over on my tablet so that I can read what you guys have to say. So I will probably look over here to my right. I don't know, couldn't figure out if I was... I think I'm mirrored over there, so I probably left for you guys. But anyway. I'm just measuring out 10 inches in between each of these and then just finding a spot to kind of twist them in, give it enough of a poof, and then spread them out. We'll just go around once with this, I think, and then we'll go back and fill in with the solids. just 10 inches, and I'm zigzagging. There are 2 rows to this wreath form, and I'm crisscrossing back and forth between the inner and outer rows. Giving it enough space in between that they give it a good bubble. And just poofing out each loop. Welcome in, people. Come in, say hi, tell me where you're from. I am in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, kind of south of the Fort Worth, kind of in between, but more on the Fort Worth side. But I work in Dallas for my normal job, and then I love doing these wreaths and playing with anything crafty, really. But this has been my new passion for the last year. I just started doing wreaths a little over a year ago. It was right around Christmas a year ago that I started my first ones, but I have been really enjoying working on these. We're almost all the way around. Do I think maybe maybe 3 more poofs. Hello, Shell. Savannah, Georgia. My stepdaughter is down in Charleston, but she was living in Brunswick. I have been through Savannah once. It's a very pretty area. Come on. And one more, come back and meet where I started. I'm going to go ahead and cut this before, let's see, cut it about 12 inches out, so I have room to gather it. And I just cut it kind of evenly between the openings in the mesh, but just gather those down and come back to the twist tie that I started, and I'm going to put this in the same twist tie so it looks continuous. Twist it back in. So we've just got a little bit of color stripes pretty much going all the way through. Let's see, I need more light on it, I think. There we go. Just twisting those in. Put this to the side.
Pretty cool.
I used these pink ones before, so they've already been crumpled, but I'm going to be rotating between the pink, the white, and the green. And I'm just going to put them in between each of these bubbles that I already have in here. And just roll the ends in so that you're hiding your raw edges, and then you just cruffle, which is ruffle them. So you have a curl and a ruffle, so it's a cruffle when it's done. This white was an old one that I had left over from another project. I think it was a Michael's one. It's not as thick as the other meshed ones that I'm using. Let's see. Reach. Get a green. So just let it curl in on the ends the way it wants to curl, and then just scrunch. And then sometimes they're a little off. I just go to the other end and pull it so that it's all the edges are all tucked in. Or just sticking it down in between the poofs and letting it pop up. Everything's moving with my wreath. All right. So just rotate between the colors. The wreath base I got at the at-home store after Christmas. It was in with their candy Christmas theme stuff. But it's a very nice wreath. It's actually very soft compared to the other ones that I've used. It does have string lights that are built into it. I haven't actually tried to put batteries in it to check it out, but I liked it whether with or without the batteries. I think it's going to look super cute, and I thought it was perfect for Easter. But just rotate these around. I see pink, white, and green. And I'm just picking a spot in between each poof, pushing it all the way down to the bottom, and using those ties to twist it in. I think it's funny that these pink ones still have this shape. They were in a wreath for maybe an hour back last summer, and they still have the cruffle shape from when I used it when I made that last wreath with them. Decided I didn't like it, took them out, went with something else, and I just put them in a box to the side, and they're still in their cruffle shape. My husband is in the chat. It's my 4th time going live ever, so yeah, it's the first time he's caught me up here while I'm up here doing this. And then just keep going around. I don't know. I don't think you guys can see yeah, maybe a little bit of the steam. I have got my glue pot right underneath the camera, and it's on the lowest setting, but it is steaming. I just filled it up with some fresh glue, so it's melting. everything. But I think it's also the, I got some of the mesh a little too close to the glue pot when I first started, so it's probably cooking the plastic off of the edge. So I did pink, time for a white. I just found the little loop from the price tag. Don't need an extra decorations in there. Alright, so it looks like we are full with this one. This will be my last one to go in. Where's the next one next to it? Oh, the lights are hanging off of it. We're going to take the battery box off of that stem. Oh, I don't know if that's where I'm going to leave it. Alright, try that again. Alright, so it's full of mesh, all the nice bright colors, good Eastery look for it. I'll slide this back up this way. Oops, that was kind of loud. We're gonna put this chocolate bunny. I think I'm gonna give him a necktie, little bow before we put him in. And then we'll figure out where to put the holes in it. But I do the White Bayou monthly wreath box subscription. And these were in the box that came in this week. So this is the March box. And I thought it was perfect for this color combo that I'd already planned on doing. So I always love the opportunity to use the ribbons that come in the box for other projects. But I think this one is going to be super cute as a necktie bow on our little bunny. Just to give them a little pop of color. Oops. I'll start them off just, and then I'll probably add a tie a little bow onto it, but start it off with just taping it on, I think, somehow. I haven't done this part before, but figure it out. I don't have any tape up here, so I probably should have just wrapped it around. Let's see. How long is this? Yeah. We'll move that to the side. I think I'll just pull it all the way around and actually tie a bow. He looks pretty cute with a little bow. All right, now let's see where we want the sign to sit. Let's find, I think I want the battery box towards the bottom, so we'll make this the top. And we will sit him off in this bottom corner, and we'll do a big bow up on the opposite corner. But we'll put a hole just above his bow tie on that end, and down here on his little tail to lock him down. Try to hide this one a little bit underneath the ribbon without puncturing the ribbon. Oh, thank you for the gift. I missed it. Sorry, but thank you. And then do one down here. And then let's see, I've got I'm going to use my bind wire since it's the same color as the rabbit, so it's not too noticeable. It is new. I need to unwrap. And we'll use about 10 inches on both holes. Let's see. So I put a hole down here and then a hole right up here underneath the ribbon, and I'm just going to feed the bind wire through that. Bring it to the back, twist it a couple times, and then do the same thing on the other hole. Hey guys, welcome in. Thanks for joining me. All right, so we've got the bind wire going through, and then I twisted it a couple times directly on the back, and then we're going to feed that wire through the mesh down to the frame. And especially with the binding paper on this, I'm going to use my plastic needle. It will help to get it through the mesh without it snagging. Bring it all the way down. Lost the end. There it is. make sure you're going around the frame and just twist it to secure it. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other one. Right out a little bit. So we'll put him right about there. One more. There's one other, there it goes. Probably should have cut the bind wire a little bit longer. Having a hard time getting it all the way through. Can't get a hold of it. There it goes. And twist it. So I brought it to the other side, twisted it on here, and then the raw edge, I'm gonna push it back into the wreath so that it's not sticking out and cutting the door or whatever you're hanging it on. So just tuck it back in. All right, so he's pretty cute like that. I'm gonna go ahead and do a bow next. So slide that up. I do have a couple extra cuts of mesh, but that's okay. Move that up. Making room. Alright. Let's see, so these were the ribbons. I want my lace to be on the top, and I don't want my bunnies beside each other, so I am going to do mint bunny, the lavender, and this is a like maybe a crystal shine or shimmer, but it's got a little bit of a glitter to it. And then there's a pink bunny, and then I'm going to do the lavender polka dot lace. So go ahead and dovetail the end. You put my needle away so I don't drop it somewhere or throw it away. Put that back. All right, so I'm going to, let's do this kind of centered. I'm going to do one tail that's at 12 inches. Do a twist. I'll do a 5.5 inch loop. On each side. I I've been really liking the 3-loop style. So you do 2 loops on one side and 1 loop on the other, and then a tail up top. I think I'm going to do that here. So 2, second loop on this side, and then a tail that's going to be about 6 inches. Dovetail this end, and it's going to move up towards the top. Put my pieces where loops where I want them. And then we'll do this purple lavender. I really like this color. Dovetail. And then this one's going to start on the bottom on the other side, but I'm going to do a 9-inch tail on that side. I'll still keep that 5.5-inch loop. Do a twist. Another 5.5-inch loop. And then a second loop on the side. And then a 6-inch tail on this end. So the longer tail I will bring down, shorter one will go up. I will dovetail. Get all the loops where I want them. Back over here. All right, and then we're going to do the pink bunnies. And this was going to start over on the side with the long tail, and I think I'm going to do an angle cut, not a dovetail. I'm going to make this one about 10.5 inches. Just keep it kind of long like the first loop. We're going to get that's good, heart twist. I'm going to bring this loop into like 4.5 inches. And again, I'm going to do the 3 loops on each total, 2 on the first side and 1 on the, let's see, a little bit longer, I think. And then twist. Out, and then give it about a 5.5-inch tail on that side, and then angle cut. I didn't think about it as I was doing this. I probably should have gone ahead and switched those bottom two, but so now I have the two bunnies on one side and I have both the purples on the other side, but it's all right. Let's see. This one's going to be on that side. I think I'm just going to do a center loop and have it come down to this other side. I've got an angle cut on it already, and I want this tail to be on the left side anyway, so I'm just going to start it at the top. Give it a good loop. And then, let's see, bring it down a little bit shorter than the other one, not much. It's maybe a half an inch shorter. All right, let me grab a zip tie and a pipe cleaner. All right. So we're going to slide it up. Keep all your layers nice and tight, stacked. Just slide it off the pole. Feed your zip tie through it. Connect it. Probably should have used a little bit longer zip tie, but you want to get it on there, just at least get it tight enough where it's holding everything together. You want to feed your pipe cleaner underneath that. Center that in there. Cinch it up just a little bit, and now move all of your tails and loops where you want them to be. I think I'm going to end up cutting this one a little bit shorter so that it's more in line with the other loops, or a little bit longer than the loop. We'll see when I get it on. Alright, I think I've got everything where I want it. We'll go ahead and cinch it up all the way. Nice and tight. And then snip off the excess. All right. Oh, I probably shouldn't have put my needle away. I'm going to need it again. Alright, bring this down. I'll put the bow right about here. I'm just feeding that pipe cleaner through the big eye on my needle. And then you feed it through the mesh. Grab the other one. Since the opening on that needle is so wide, I can feed it on one-handed. But again, you want to make sure you're getting the pipe cleaner on both sides of your frame, and then using that frame to hold it on. So you want to twist around the frame itself. So we've got it attached on there. I think I'm going to trim this to be right outside about the same length as these other tails, and leave these hanging down here. All right, I'm going to grab my stand. Maybe not. I've got a lot of stuff stacked on it. All right, we'll work with it on the table. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is put some tails in. I will do these two together, and then I will do these two together. So I've got my 12-inch ribbon tail board. I will cut, let's see how many we need. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll do 4 of each. Three, 4. Ouch. Stack those. My ribbon already had an angle cut from where I cut it off earlier, so I'm going to just follow that angle for the rest of them. And then stack these up on the other side. And angle cut there also. About that. Move that up. One, 2, 3, 4. Thank you, Glenda. Very spring Easter pastel colors. Dovetail these as I cut them off. This one didn't get all the way to the edge, so cut them. So we've got mint blue bunnies, mint green. Put it up here. Do the lavender. This is, like I said, I think it's a crystal shine. It's got some glitter to it, but it doesn't shed. It's not chunky. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Just dovetailing these as I go. Cut them off right over the trash so I don't have to clean them up. Nope, those didn't cut all the way through. So there. Got that. And then we'll do the pink bunny. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Ow. Let me just angle cut these. All right, so the pink bunnies and the lavender glitter, and then the mint bunnies with the lavender dots. And we're just going to I just stack them together and pinch them around the middle. Just kind of gather them up, pinch them there. Hello, Bethany. And then I just find a spot in here in between 2 ties and just lock them in. And then just spread them out once they're in. So we did that one. Just alternate between the 2 styles. Just crisscross them on, pinch them down the middle. Almost knocked out the ribbon off the table. And then just use the twist ties that are on the branches of the wreath, just to tie them in. Fluff them out, work your way around. Stack those out of the way. Thank you guys for joining me. Say hi. I am from, this is only my 4th live. I've got a puzzle piece. Unable. Didn't work. Let's try that again. There it goes. I am in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Arlington, where the Dallas Cowboys stadium is. I'm not too far from there, but I started wreath making about a little over a year ago, and just started making these like I said, about a year ago. Really enjoyed it. I sold my first one for Valentine's Day last year through Facebook. Was super excited about that. And then I did a Easter one. That one sold on Facebook. And then I started taking some into the office. Was hanging them on my wall behind my desk. And the people at the office were buying them from me. So I ended up starting an Etsy shop in July. So now I have quite a few of them. I think when I was in there yesterday, it said I have 56 listings out on Etsy. I've sold quite a few. There's a lot of Christmas. I went kind of overboard with Christmas. I did a lot of vendor booths for local vendor booths at Christmas time, but they didn't sell very well. Yes, it's the glue under the camera. It's on the lowest setting, but I accidentally got my mesh close to the glue pot and it's on the edge, so it's smoking off the melted plastic. Let's see. Couple more. Here. I've spent the last, I don't know, month or so reworking the craft area, making it more functional. I just changed out my craft desk actually yesterday. I just bought me a one of those sit-stand desks that's electric. It moves up and down. Got a awesome deal on Amazon. I guess people didn't like it's like a wood color in the middle and then white on the outside edge, and I guess it wasn't selling and they discounted it. So I got it half off. I was like, I don't care. I'm putting a big old mat in the middle of it, covering the middle anyway. So I don't care what color it is. One more. Get this twisted in. All right. This is where we're at. So I have a bunch of these ball picks. I have them with the pink, green, blue, and lavender, and then I also have the ones that's just the green, yellow, and lavender. I think I'm going to use these with the pink in it and see if I need the other ones. Go clean mine, otherwise I have a 15 wide by 21 long. How do you mean? Oh, your table? Yeah. I had a one of those fold down like sewing quilting tables. I've had it for years. I probably got it 23 to 25 years ago. It still works, but it was a little wobbly, and actually a little too big. I kept putting things on that end and then I couldn't reach it. It wasn't working too well for me that way. So I was like, I will see how this works. Hopefully functions a little bit better for me. These have like 3 sections to them, so I'm cutting it into 3 sections there on each, and we'll see if how that looks. And I might add in some flowers. I have some like white daisy looking flowers I might add. I've got some lavender flowers. We'll see. Alright, so I think I want to leave them like this. Do I? Do I need to cut them down more? I'm going to just kind of place them around, see what I like. 3 there. All right, what do we think? Is that enough? Should I break them apart more? Spread them out more? You were in the Dallas area? Fort Worth? Were you here for our fun storms that we had this morning? We woke up to severe high winds and hail at 5:30, 6 o'clock this morning. I want to cut this down a little bit more. All right, I have the Surebonder glue pot. I have it on the lowest setting. This thing is smoking like crazy, and it's still very thin, even though I have it on the lowest setting. I know it's supposed to look like honey. I've never been able to get mine to be thicker. I'm hoping it just runs off, but I don't get too much glue strings. I just have to sit here and play with the glue to let it all drip off before I string it across. Let's see. Did that one, did that one. Yeah, I know some areas are still getting their snow. I am not a snow person. I lived in Virginia most of my life. We moved to Texas. Oops, wrong spot. We moved to Texas about 5 years ago. For I found a new job here, but I definitely did not like the cold weather. I always preferred the warmer weather. So I can deal with the cold weather as long as it snows, and I only want one snow a year. That's all I want. We don't get much snow around here. We'll get some pretty cold weather and a snow maybe once a year, and I'm good with that. The winters here are much shorter. Spring bounces back and forth from like late January into March, and then once we get into April, it'll start warming up again here. Now, I prefer not to have the 110 plus temperatures in July and August. I just got hot glue on my finger. Let that cool off a little bit before I pull it off. It's everywhere. See, if my glue pot would not get so hot, it wouldn't be so drippy, and I wouldn't burn myself so much. Luckily, it goes on my nails more than it does on my skin. snow. So these, oh, wow. We actually, there's several rather large sized lakes in the area. This winter there was lake effect snow coming off of the lake that's on the north side of Fort Worth. There was some crazy pictures off of that. But what we had this morning, that we had a hailstorm April or May last year. We've got our car fixed from the dents from that hailstorm. I want to say around Thanksgiving. It's going to have to go back in. My hood is covered with dents again. Because the hails were probably anywhere from a half an inch to an inch. They were pretty good size. And my poor little car did not like that hail. But it looked like it was the street, the yard, everything was covered in white. It looked like it had snowed. I was like, I don't like this kind of snow. It hurts. It's damaging. All right, I think I've got them all in, glued. All right. Here we go. Golf ball or tennis ball? No, they weren't quite the golf ball size, but they were pretty good. They were anywhere from about a half an inch to an inch, but they were everywhere. It was crazy. All right, I've got a bush of daisies, or yeah, I think they're daisies. I've got these like 60919 style. I've got these in purple, blue, pink, or I can do this one that's got more of like a baby's breath mix in it. But I think I want a little bit of flowers in here, but I don't want it to be all flowers. I want the little balls to look like little Easter eggs hiding in here. But just a pop of color. I think I like the white. I don't know. I like the other greenery that's in this one. I think I'm gonna go with the one with the daisies. Hey Justin. I think you popped in the last time I went live. It's been a little while since I went live. Let's see, put this one back. Alright. These are pushers, yay. Push these up. Maybe. As far as that goes. All right, let's see how many we're gonna need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let go. Oh. The petals are like attached to each other. There's actual plastic attaching them. There we go. Next. All right, we'll start there. said, I just want a little bit of flowers. When I'm done, I will take my heat gun to these and kind of fluff out those petals so they're not so squished. But like, I'm gonna just pop these in around, see how I like it. Honeymoon next year. Nice. Tennessee. Justin, are you doing the White Bayou thing in May? Or sorry, in April? I think you were on the list. See this long one coming up from the bow. All right, let's see. I think I'll do one more right here. Just a little bit of flowers. I still have all the pastel colors showing. Thank you. I normally try to hide a lot of the mesh and the wreath frame, but I like the colors. I want to show them off with this one. It's part of the style, the design. Oops. I may decide that I still want more color in it later, but for now I think I'm just going to stick with these white flowers and the glitter balls. Keep the focus on the bunny and the little ball picks. Alright, almost done. I think I have this one right here. I think I got all of them. Got more glue on me. I think he's done. Let's see. I really like the cute little chocolate bunny. I was debating on, I forgot about this, but I found these at Walmart. And I might put I didn't think about it, but I don't know. With the sign being flat, I wasn't sure if I would put one in here. Maybe like right there. It's like a, no, it's a treat container, so it would pop apart if I take the sticker off. So I could turn it into 2 separate pieces. I think I can do that. These I got at Walmart, the chocolate container ones, but the sign, I got it last year. I would say either Craft Outlet or White Bayou. I forget. I didn't write it on there. That was before I was being organized and keeping track of where my stuff was from. But I think I want to do like one half down here and the other half, I don't know. What do we think? Do we like the little plastic bunnies on there, or do they blend in too much? Do they get lost? I think they would look funny if I tried to put them up towards the top. I could put one over, put one here, and put one kind of under the bow. I think that looks cute. We're gonna try to wire them in like we did the, and maybe the hot glue. Let me turn my hot glue gun on. This one's gonna cover this other bunny, but maybe if I put a hole in both right here and then one down there. Here's my do. I left my pokey tool downstairs. We will use these. There it goes. And then there's already a hole at the bottom. I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. I think it works. And then, oops. I don't know, should I use that? The bind wire still on my table. Where'd I put it? Oh, up here on the shelf. I don't have brown piped cleaners, so I'm just using my brown bind wire. And I am going to use, let's see, if I put that down there, put him here, put a hole right about here. Just feeding the bind wire through that hole I made. Wrap it to the back, give it a twist. I'm going to see if I can get both. I might need to make that a little bit bigger. There we go. And then feed both pieces through this hole in the big bunny. I think this is gonna work. That's so cute. All right, now feed these through the mesh. So I can attach it to the frame. Go. Keep cutting that bind wire too short. Barely have like an inch or less on the back end. Just enough to get my fingers around it. There we go. Alright. Do that. Grab the other one, go through this other hole on the bottom. Give it a twist. Hold it in. Lift it. Again, feeding it through the mesh long enough that I can catch it on the other side. Yes. Wrap that up in there. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other little guy. So they've got holes on the bottom, so I'll do one up here behind his ear. Giving him an ear piercing. Excuse me. Let's try to cut this a little bit longer this time. One. Two. find where the paper is just thick enough. It's getting caught in that hole. So let me get this little thingy, make that hole just a little bit wider. Just attached it right on the upper edge of the ear, right behind it, so you don't really see it from the front. And then there's these extra holes on the bottom. I'm going to just run it through one of the holes down there. Let's see. We'll use the one on the front paw. And these were at, like I said, these were at Walmart and they were only $1. And I'm getting 2 of them out of it. That is pretty cute. Alright, let's find a good home for him. Where to put my needle. This one, the top part will go around my top bar, and the one on his feet will go around the bottom bar. Keep it through. How do I decide my prices? I use the method of calculating all of the costs that I paid and doing ×3 if I'm selling it on Etsy. And even then I may adjust that for shipping because I try to offer the free shipping. So it might be a little bit more. As much as Etsy says it's free shipping, you have to work it into your cost because you don't want to lose money. And then if I'm doing it for a local event where I'm not having to pay for boxes or shipping or any of that, depending on what if I've seen the event before, if I know what how many I will probably sell, I will try to just do ×2 and then adjust a little bit for whatever the cost was for me to participate, whatever the registration fee is. I might, if I know I'm going to be selling 5, then and my registration fee was $100, then I might add $20 onto each for that price. But you don't want to lose out on money, so I try to adjust to at least a minimum is going to be ×2, and then plus a little bit extra to cover whatever cost it is for my venue. I lost the end. There it is. Alright, he's kind of tucked up underneath the bow, but I think he's pretty cute. I think that adds a nice little touch. A little bunny family. I might have to move him over a little bit so he's not so far hidden underneath the bow. But untie you. Oh, I didn't even have it tied to the right twist ties. I had them tied, one side was tied to the twist tie from the top instead of its partner down at the bottom. So I think I'm going to move him over here. He'll be smelling the flowers. Let's try that again. Thank you, Rosemary. There's not any mesh right here, so I don't want the bunny's head to get too lost. I am going to try to push some of these tensile ties up underneath it to help support. There's one. This one's just going to go through. I can bring that mesh back up that I tucked under because I was hiding him before, but bring him back up. There we go. Now you can see him. So we got mama and baby there, and an extra baby down on the bottom. I think that is freaking adorable. All right. I don't have batteries up here, but it does, like I said, the frame came with a battery box of some lights on them. I tested it when I bought it, but curious. Will this fit in? Oh, this way. I can see them in there. Probably can't see them too much with the other lights, but there's little lights. Let's see. There. So it's got little lights inside. I think that's super cute. That's just an extra bonus. I wasn't expecting that. But it's got a timer on it. So you have a on, off, and then a timer. And the timer will go for 6 hours on and 18 hours off. So, super cute. I do prefer the evergreen bases. I like the style. I like to be able to shove a lot of other stuff in it. I do make some with like the metal frames, the like Dollar Tree frames. Those tend to be more budget friendly wreaths, which sell better at local events. So I make a little bit of both, but I prefer the evergreen bases myself. They're more fun for me. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I think he is done. I am going to try to get a few pictures. I don't have much sun outside, but it's not raining right now. So I am going to try to get a couple of pictures and get this posted. I did not price it before I started, but I am guessing this one's probably going to be between $125 and $140. But he will be on my Etsy shop a little bit later today. Thank you guys for hanging out. I have some ideas for some other ones. I have a bunny butt that I want to do with the black and white check feet and ears. And then I also have an idea for like a game night poker theme. So I've got like a playing cards, and I've put away the other stuff when I was cleaning up to change my desk out. But oh, they're over here. I just want to do like I think these will be really fun for like a black and red and white poker theme. There's stuff in there. I've got these. I think that'll be really fun. So that'll be another one that I will do live. I'll do the bunny butt one and then that one. I'm not sure. I'm working on creating a schedule so that I get on here more often, so people know when to come find me. Right now I've done my 3 test ones that I had to do, and this is my second one that I've done outside of the test time frame. So I'm still trying to figure out how it all works, but having fun with it. If I'm going to be up here creating, then I might as well be on live so people can join me and I get seen more. So, all right guys, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to sign off. We'll see you guys next time.